We told you. You think they would let Flat Earth out and there'd be no repercussions for it?
I will never understand how he equates everything, literally everything, to flat Earth. But we're going to find out. So, what's the intro? Pour a beer and we'll have a laugh, shall we? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Sarcastic Bomb and welcome to the channel. And yes, we're taking another deep delvingness into the world of CC from Westchester County. We were going to have a look at Sam I Am God Again Christian Jesus Concave Earthy Man, who MC Toon had a debate with the other week, but his videos are boring as shite, and I can't find enough sort of content of craziness without going through hours and 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 hours of footage to make the video seem interesting. So I might just steal MC Toon's debate bits and cut MC Toon out and just have the Sam bit. Yeah, that could be fun. But until then, it's more CC with his raving lunatics of politics this week. But we're going to skip the politics bit because he talks about other stuff which should be more interesting.
Back to why I made this video. I snuck out on Saturday. Everybody was sleeping. We were at the pool all day, and I snuck out just for a little bit. I wanted to go out for like an hour and a half to a bar, and just do like a sociology project, you know, and just see. So I went to a bar that was somewhere I haven't been in 2 years, right before the hammer came down, and while I was there, before I flat smacked them.
Don't you just feel like CC in a bar is going to be the prime example for people to just either take the piss out of, possibly punch in the face, or just say, ignore the guy in the corner, he's fucking nuts. Possibly all three.
So I figured, why don't I go back 2 years later and see if anything has happened. No. Unfortunately, once again, nobody did their homework. I was talking to this one guy that was at the bar. Flat smacked him, told him about Earth, no spinach.
But what we found is when we turned on that gyroscope, we found that we were picking up a drift. A 15-degree-per-hour drift.
You know, this ridiculousness of speed going through the vast amount of universe and infinity land, and how you can see something from 3 trillion miles away, and I just he was with me on most of it.
And here we have the classic case of flat earther no likey biggie thingies. Numbers too big, must be fake. Thing too far away, must be fake. Thing really big and really far away, hence we still see it, definitely fake. See, flat earthers don't like anything bigger than a pea, which explains why most of them are single or why their wives look very, very grumpy. Anyway, enough penis jokes. Were you buying him the drinks by any chance? Is that why he sat there with you and talked to you about fucking your stupidness?
But then I decided to take a little curveball and get into the simulation case. See, I went a bit too far. I lost him on that one. You know, that everything's a simulation. You know, that we live in quite possibly the Matrix. You know, that seems that way. Everything adds up to it.
Wow, this opens so many doors. Oh, none of them lead to anywhere that CC probably wants them to lead, but it opens so many doors. So we're all in a computer simulation. Okay, we can't distinguish simulation from reality, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's fine. Not something you can really go either way of, really, because once you get to the point you can make a simulation, how do you know you're not already in a simulation? Blah, 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 blah. But, if we're in a computer simulation, why didn't they just make the world flat and then it'd shut people up like you? Or in your opinion, as the world is flat, why didn't they just make it round? Who designed the simulation to show all this evidence for round Earth, no evidence for flat Earth, and then programmed in your stupidity to think of the flat Earth. It's very strange, really, isn't it? You know, maybe, just maybe, you can't have flat Earth and simulation and think they're in the same sort of world. Because they're not. They're really not.
Free will, let's talk about that for a second. Free will is something we don't have. Everything that you think is known 8 seconds before you even think it. Okay? They've done tests on this to prove it, and scientists don't like it at all.
Now, what I think he's referring to is that your brain makes a decision before you realise your brain has made the decision. And yes, there are experiments on this, and it could be up to 10 seconds. So it doesn't mean you haven't got free will, it just means that your brain has decided before you realise your brain has decided. And it's on decisions, not everything you think, because that would just be weird. So the experiment in question was for pressing 2 buttons. They had to decide which button to press. And yeah, it was believed that the signals picked up in the brain showed that they'd made the decision before they pressed the button. That's about it. I'll link the Nature article down below.
So there really is no free will. Okay, and the only way that could be possible is if you're in a simulation. That can't happen any other way. Okay.
Now, this does raise deeper philosophical questions than my drunk brain is willing to cover, though maybe that's just my subconscious telling my conscious brain that, no, you don't want to cover that because we're in a simulation. Oh wait, no it's not, because that's stupid. The idea of the simulation providing lag between your conscious brain and your subconscious brain just seems rather silly. The whole point of being in a simulation like that would be that your brain hasn't had to think about making decisions, even though we're showing the activity in your brain making the decisions. Now, if you want to say, well, yeah, but that's just the system being programmed to do that, that raises the question of why would you program in that thing that would make them people question the fact if they're in a simulation, unless the goal of the simulation is to get people out the simulation, in which case, why put them in the simulation to start with? And why do I taste toast? Very odd. But yes, surely this is more... how to put this nicely. Your subconscious brain thinking and making the decision faster than your conscious brain can realise that decision has been made. And yes, it does raise the questions of how much time when you're thinking about something are you actually spending thinking about it, weighing up option A, option B, etc., etc., if your subconscious has already made that decision. I don't feel like it's this thing to a simulation, but questions and decisions, subconscious brain, interesting topic. Not for me, though.
Everything's just so perfect here, you know. They make it hell, but everything is just so perfect, you know. Perfect air. Perfect animals. Let's get into the chicken and the egg. Which one came first? Now.
Whoa, perfect? The Earth isn't perfect. We've adapted to suit certain areas of the Earth, but I don't think you'd last long, say, in the middle of the Sahara Desert, because your body isn't adapted to that. So, no, Earth is not perfect, and we do a lot of work to make certain areas more habitable for ourselves. It's something you should easily see in America. You live on the coast, New York, Westchester County. You've got areas that are done up lovely for human occupation. And naturally, they would have been areas that could support human life through agriculture, the trees to provide shade, regular rainfall. But move hundreds and maybe 1,000 miles to your east. No, to your west. Crap, why do I always mix them up with America? Yeah, you find yourselves in areas that are not as hospitable, really, don't you? So you wouldn't want to spend a weekend in the Nevada desert on your own without a house or anything. It would be not too nice. And as for perfect air, well, we're slowly making sure that's not the case, with fumes being generated from big power plants, cars, just general city smog life is not pleasant, and in large built-up areas the air particulates and things are not very pleasant. I used to live up by Ellesmere Port, and they had a nice big board on the main street. It was the level of particulates for the day for the big Shell SOBP, whatever it was, factory producing petrol. Yeah, and just basically told us you don't really want to hang your washing out today because it's shit. So, no, world not perfect, and we're making it less perfect as time goes on. But let's get on to chicken and egg and see your slow denial of evolution, shall we?
If it was the chicken that came first, how did he or she know how to take care of the egg when it hatched if that was the very first egg that ever came?
Now, even though the first chicken would have come from an egg, it wasn't laid by a chicken. We'll call it proto-chicken. So, almost a chicken, but not quite a chicken as we know it today. Evolution's a great thing for that, and as for how did it know to take care of it, that's the same sort of thing of how do birds know where to fly south for winter. Bit of it is learnt from following other birds, but also from just the basic instinct knowledge in the back of their brains. And again, this comes down to more philosophical questions than my brain is willing to answer.
To the world! How did they know that? How do they know how to protect it? Keep it warm? You know? How did they know that? Simulation.
Hang on. Because chicken have egg, therefore simulation? No. Just no. How do fish learn how to swim? How do we know how to breathe? I suppose breathing and laying on and sitting on an egg are slightly different, but they are instinctive things that chicken brains just know I need to look after this thing. Programmed in through generations upon generations of evolution. Animals that didn't show that paternal nature didn't tend to have as many offspring. So, yeah. Still doesn't mean simulation, though.
If it was the egg that came first, then who took care of the egg? What animal took care of the egg? What, would the egg just sit outside in the dirt? Nobody sat on it, kept it warm? I love it. It's just so much fun. I mean, everything the scientists say is just such bullshit. It's all speculation. It's all nonsense. And we're here to witness all of this right now. You are too. You know, the only thing the ball earthers have are pictures of nonsense. They have no evidence of anything at all whatsoever. If they have any evidence at all, it's proving that Earth is standing still, that we're stationary, we're not moving.
So, when you say pictures of nonsense, do you mean pictures of the Earth from space that you've got no actual rebuttal to? It's just like, no, they're nonsense. No. This just seems like the what came first, the denial or the stupidity. In your case, I think it's the stupidity that slowly bred into denial. Because you're admitting there's photos, you have no rebuttal for said photos apart from, no, they're stupid.
Everything is a lot closer than it seems. There are no stars, there's no space. NASA's fake. Nobody does their homework. Nobody figures out why NASA all of a sudden, you know, Admiral Byrd comes back and then NASA's founded. They don't bother looking at that, you know. They don't bother. They don't bother looking at the videotape footage of a pathetic show that they have on. These sickos, these satanic fucking worshippers.
Hang on. So, Admiral Byrd came back to then be founding NASA. So I'm guessing what you actually mean to say is the evil satanic Satan worshippers use their magical satanic Satan powers to bring Admiral Byrd back from the dead, because obviously he died March 11th, 1957. So with NASA not being founded till, what was it, July of 58? There's just a bit of a gap there that doesn't fit your narrative. Almost as if you didn't do any research, homework or anything like that, and you just followed stupid Facebook memes and got your information from other moronic flat earthers and not bothered to look at any of it for yourself. No, you don't like that plan, do you? I mean, if you'd have said that, oh, yes, they founded NASA in 1930, just after Admiral Byrd came back, you go, oh, really? Well, at least that would fit with the first Antarctic expedition. Or if you'd said 34, 1940, 1947, 1956, because obviously he went more than once. But no, you choose to just cock up completely, like all flat earthers do. No actual knowledge to support your stupid ass fucking claims of stupidity, supported by denial. that's about it. Well, that's, I think, all I can stand for CC tonight. Don't forget for everyone to like, share, comment, subscribe down below, and leave a comment as well. We're going to do some more game videos because they help me relax and pass time rather than just swearing at flat earthers. And I have a choice to go with the Starship Troopers game that will keep doing out as well. We can either have Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis, some nice puzzle solving, or Monkey Island, also nice puzzle solving. Both are fun games, point and click adventures. Yeah, it should be a bit of a laugh. Let me know which ones down below. And thank you to everyone who helps make these videos possible. Members, Patreons, likers, subscribers, commenters. They all count and they're all absolutely well and truly deeply appreciated. I'll catch you all on the next one. Good night.